Hello folks, let's see if I can do this in one try. So a little more lengthy video. What is this going to be about? I have added a cooling fan to the Nitehawk PCB. Why? Well, it wasn't getting extremely hot, but I was getting a little concerned. I was getting some too close timing errors in Clipper, and I noticed that some people have added a fan to the PCB. I'm like, oh, well, why not give it a try? Now, the reason why they did it is different than the reason I'm doing it. Let's explain. Usually the Nitehawk is mounted behind the extruder motor. This gets pretty hot, and if you're in an enclosed chamber, that just adds to it. So they want to cool it off. Well, I have mine in the front. Obviously, I don't have that problem. I just want to be on the safe side. So I gave it a try. These are, the mounts are available on printables. There's a few of them, so pick your favorite. You'll notice I have my default spaghetti. This is what we're going to be getting rid of today. Hopefully not in a spectacular fashion. So I wanted to give it a try out. I have this wired up to my ebb up here, and I have it controlled through my config files, just to prove that it works and that it does indeed cool the board down. And it does. It brings it down by a good 10 to 15 C and keeps it very steady. I am happy with it. Again, it's overkill, right? Sorry for the nudge. So let's do it this way. There's no extra, most of these mounts are very straightforward. They're using the existing screws or existing mount holes for the board itself. So I didn't have to do anything special. We'll show you here in a moment. And this is a separate piece. So these are two different models from two different authors, mind you. This looks very familiar because it was taken from the LH Stinger side, which I'm not too sure if LH borrowed it from someone else, but this is to allow more laminar flow to wherever you're pointing the fan at, right? So I don't need to change that. I do need to add an extra bolt though. I misplaced it while I was mounting it. We'll get to that in a bit because I have to do some crimping or snipping or what have you. We'll get to that when we get to that. Put that up there. So what's going on here? We're gonna unplug that. We're going to make a mess out of all of this after I've neatly tidied it. Power's off. Please, folks, power off. Okay. What I want to make, oh boy, that's tiny. Nice. So, I'm not sure. All right. I don't want to undo all of this, but I don't know why they didn't do this before. But you have a straight 24 volts coming from here. And, oh, don't tell me it's the wrong one. It's the wrong one. Be right back. I'm going to look at something. All right, funny story. I originally bought these, and then I realized they're the smaller ones, right? And I'm like, well, fans typically use XH. Sure, they all do, right? Majority of them do. So I was going to return this. Thankfully, I didn't. And I bought this guy. Well, lo and behold, won't fit. I'm still surprised. I'm going to keep that out just in case. Like I said, I want to try and do this in one take. Mess ups and all, because life is messy. But my gut is telling me that, yeah, told me right. That fits right in. Okay, so that also means that I need to crimp, probably. So this fan here does in fact have the larger one. It fits right into the ebb, which is fine. Let's take a look at this real quick so I can bring my mind, kind of think about this. I needed to reposition where the wire was anyway, because I want it come, instead of going over this way, I want to bring it under and then plug it in there. And yeah, magnet, use it while you got it, right? Because don't touch your plate, especially with metal stuff, right? Sure. Okay. All right, 2 pieces. Keep those there. 24-volt fan, and this looks like I'm going to have to crimp ends on. Lovely. Looking forward to that. I do have pigtails for the smaller one. What is this called? A PH? I always get them mixed up. So I'm going to have to snip, crimp, put on the end. Let's see if I have everything I need to be successful here. These are all PCB mounts. I even have these ZH ones. The first source of truth, right? Right. Sometimes you get lucky. No. No. That looks okay. That pigtail was for something else. So, didn't look out there. I always keep them in their bag because if it snaps open, you're toast. I'm thinking this one is too tiny. I'll be very upset if I have the wrong one. those. Okay, yeah, that's not gonna work. One more box, oh, actually a few more boxes. When you build printers or mod printers, you end up with a lot of extra. So it's good. It can be good. You gotta have a place for it all. That's the bad part. Anyhow, this says Winston 5015 24 volt DC blower fan. ZH. I think we've already said that this is not going to work. These are the tiny ones. Man, this could be a failed video, and I'd hate that. But I'm not out of ideas yet. And I know this was going to be a longer video anyway, so hang in there with me, folks. We're not done yet. So, I doubt it'll be in here. Ooh. Did I doubt too soon? What is it doing in here? pH. There we go. Right? We're gonna try that. I don't know what it's doing in this box. That's funny. The infamous unknown neutral wire. I have no idea what that's doing in there either. Like I said, you tend to accumulate a lot of things, and then you begin to wonder where to put it. And then you begin to wonder where you put it when you need it. So I am definitely in that stage of my printing life. Are these all the same? Oh. I think the answer is yes. I was using these for something. I doubt they're these. Those are too big. Maybe this guy? I don't know. But let's find out. Yes. All right. So both these ends, and that will, yep. Actually, there's that. So it would go in like so. All right. So let's do this. And I'm going to try not to bang this camera. Let's do the harmless thing first, right? Don't need this anymore. And now that I'm doing my own crimps, I don't have to worry about, well, you always have to worry about polarity. I'm not going to say don't worry about it, but I have a little more control Because if I have to flip them, because sometimes you have to flip them, don't get me started on that. That was a pain. Ooh, is that coming loose? No, it's not. Just seems like it's not all the way in there when I put it in. Okay, so I'm gonna hold still. All right. Get to watch my soldering skills live. And though I've been doing this a lot longer than crimping, I won't call myself an expert either. Looks good. Wonderful little resistor right there. Oh man, I hate. Why couldn't they just add it on? That's my big question. Why not leave it there? Why keep it optional? I mean, really optional, right? I don't like this one. I don't like the flow. Usually, you see all the videos and they're like, oh, use flux. Sure. I should have wet that. I don't want to overdo this. I'm not happy with that. Second one looks really nice. Has a nice base to it. This guy does not. And I don't want to put too much heat, right? Come on. All right. There. There. So what I can do, let's see what we can do next. I want to make sure that's clean. Let's see. I'm going to test if it's getting power. Got to give it power. Okay, and I don't. Should have flipped them. So the right side is the negative. Bloody hell. All right. Like I said, I have control. Don't want those two touching, right? And okay. So I know I already have them reversed. 24. Very happy. Okay. All right. Now, what are we going to do about this guy? Funny. Funny. Where are we at? I'm going to wait. Okay, I don't need my soldering iron anymore. Let's get that out of the way. So why do I have to undo the side panel of my Pico? Well, I said for testing to see if I liked it, I connected it up here because I have several ports open. There are 2 fan ports open on the ebb. So just give that a try, right? That's just cheap without having to do all the work that you just saw me do. Let's not break that connection. Come on. Okay. I'll talk about what I've done up here lately, because I've done some work to... I have so many tasks to clean up the wiring on this printer. Not just for looks. But, I mean, that's always... You always want your printer to look good, don't you? But maintenance, right? So much better if it's tidy, because then you don't have to deal with the spaghetti. No one wants to deal with the spaghetti. Or, heaven forbid, the rat's nest. It's even worse in my opinion. Okay, and there and there. There we go. Okay. That's not coming through. Why? Okay, I won't waste camera time on that as much as I want to. Okay, there's a reason why that's not going, and I gotta sit down and look at that reason. And that's probably what it was. Darn it. There we go. Okay, I'll remind myself, tighten that leather screw later. All right. Hey, come back here. All right. You get to see me crimp. There are a million videos of this thing, or how to crimp. I like the one Teaching Tech did. I bought this same crimper, tried a few, got frustrated, returned it. And then I realized I really need to learn this. This is a skill that will help me save money, help me keep the rat's nest spaghetti under control. I need to do it. And it is skill, which means you can be taught, but you won't figure it out. You won't get the hang of it unless you do it. Just like driving, right? You can learn to drive from a book, but you can't drive well unless you actually drive. Same deal. So I bought this again and started crimping, just started crimping everything. And it took me a year to get to crimp well. Well, in my frame of mind. You're probably going to watch me and go, oh my God, that looks horrible. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. I don't need to hear it. Because I know I can do better. And I strive to do better. And I think people who know me from either here or the Discords, they know I strive to do better. All right, so back of the fan. And we reverse the polarity here. We can figure that out when we stick the pins in. But this side is black. Actually, let me... a reminder to myself, because now that I've soldered it in, I'm not going to be able to see what's positive and ground. This will allow me that. Well, a subtle visual cue. I'm going to leave that in there for now. Don't lose it. So what do I need to do now? Well, I need to figure out how I'm going to route this. Something like that. That's what I'm thinking. Even let's get it in the keeper. The restraint. It's not really much of anything. It's just to keep it from dying on that one shove. I'm going to bring it out here. And then I don't need much. Okay. Let's give myself about, just a tiny bit of room. Let's add a bit more for any mistakes I make. I am not perfect. And yes, these are not wire cutters. These came with my printer, and I've used them lovingly on anything I can cut with. So yes, comment all you want. These are $9 a piece, if not cheaper at Harbor Freight. They work great. I don't care. And it's funny that I usually do my electronics work listening to music, or I'm not talking, but you are my audience, and I don't have any background music playing. Not that you probably want to listen to anything that YouTube has for free. What, elevator music? That'd drive you nuts. I've been taught you do not tint the wires. And like I said, a million videos out there. Pick the one you like. Pick more. Try them all. And just start crimping. It's the only way you're really going to get the hang of this. And everyone's going to get their own little style going. And everyone will be crimping. And then it'll be a new fad. Because we love fads. All right. Like that. I'm going to bring it like that. That's it. When we pin it, we'll pin it appropriately. This is, of course, the hardest part of this video. And I made it too long. I gave it enough length as if I was going to solder it to something. Just really doing this type of, I want to call it electronics work. It's not really electronics, but reminds me of when I did this with my dad. Oh. So my dad was into something called Heathkit. And if you're as old as me, that might ring a bell. They had some great stuff, really great stuff. Prior to being purchased by Zenith, but it's something they needed to do to get money. But you could build your own computer, your own H89 or Z89, which my dad did. Oh my gosh. I'm making a mess of this because they're so tiny. What I'm trying to do is put a little bit of a pinch here. Yeah. There we are. And watch me make a mess of this in front of you all. I can hear you cringe already. No! Well, too bad. And then one more. Right. Give clearance for where the receptacle is. There we go. And there we go. Sheared it right off. But Heathkit, yeah, my dad built a bunch of things. He built an oscilloscope. Thing was huge. Built power supply, multimeter. Built a sine wave generator. Built a ton of stuff. And I was there with him. We did not build the Hero 1. That rings a bell. Props to you. Boy, did I want that. Didn't do anything, of course. It was just a Roomba. It was the modern day version of the Hero 1, and it does more. Okay, a little more gentle, if you can say that with this crimper, because it's a ratcheting crimper. Okay. Come on. All right. That looks better. That's garbage. Where are my snips? Oh, where's the other one? Here we go. Let's keep it there for now. And that wasn't it. That's just the one. Those are just the projects that I remember. He did a ton. Boy, was it fun. Taught me how to solder. I had a 301 kit. There's a 30-in-1 and then a 101. I don't know. They were from Radio Shack, but I'm sure Radio Shack was not the inventor of those. And I've seen them. They've made a comeback. And I'm ranting. But all right. Onwards. That took too much. If I really mess up, then I have a second fan. What I would have done, if I could have taken this off, I would have desoldered it and put that pigtail on. Would have called it complete. Success. But no. Must learn how to crimp. Must learn how to crimp. See, now I'm getting a little more nervous. Alrighty. And now, bench test. Yep. It runs. Ah! And it broke. I must be over crimping on the insulation part. That's my theory. And I'm just brutalizing it. But I don't have any smaller. Let's see if I've messed this up. Well, worst case scenario, I can go from the top right or top left. Right is incorrect. Yeah. I would prefer to go under than over, just for looks, right? It would hide it better. But I don't have to say time for the next fan, right? And what I really wish I had was better lighting. And this LED light up there, which isn't bad, isn't horrible. people who know me in person know that I wear glasses for reading. And this is definitely close-up work. Yeah, I know this video is getting too long. Ah, okay, I don't like how that's going. I'm gonna stop right there. Let's use a fresh one. I was seeing the wire was poking upwards out of alignment. That's not what we want either. Because there would be no guarantee that the wire would get crimped in or stay above the crimp or get mashed in, right? All right, gentleness. More gentleness. All right, come on. Here. Better. All right, get our 9 volt. Okay, we've got power. Hopefully, they're not lying about this. They've lied about other things. I won't get into that in this video. All right, black. And this side, this side. Maybe I need to invest in some installers. The little JST extractors. I know, darn it, going back to my dad, he had one. And darn it, if it didn't look like a tube and that was it, that could have been for the Molex. The larger ones. Come on, come on, come on, come on. All right. So, is this the home? Let's get another. Fix that problem. Finally, the assembly phase. What we got here? We got a. Oh. No. No, really. And there we go. And there we go. And now my desk is a mess again. That's normal. One more time. Let's see. My original idea. That should work. I'll have to twist it, but that should work. As long as I'm gentle with it. I don't twist it to the wire breaking. Should be good. Gotta remember, that one up there is loose. Not that it'll do anything of consequence, but still. Loose bolts are not good on a printer. If anyone tells you otherwise, don't listen to them anymore. Oh wait, there is an exception. These guys. But they're not really loose. They're just preloaded. Wonder where my second screw went. Oh, here it is. Here I'm talking about having a magnetic base and not using it. Ah, silly me. Silly, silly me. Almost done. I'm just hand tightening these. There's really no reason to get out the Loctite. There's no real reason to cinch them down. And I printed these parts out of Ambrosia ASA Black. It's Galaxy Black or something. I'll have to look at the box. I love their filament. It comes from 3D West. I'm sorry, West 3D. I don't know why I said it the other way, but I always say it the other way. Wait. Haha. Things you learn. Get that out of the way. Get this out of the way. Just use both hands, right? Yeah, I'll clean up the rest later. No big deal. All right. It comes around. No danger of it getting sucked in or hitting. Oh, what do I... Before I mount it. Okay. Let's see if it works. Oh yeah. Correct polarity. Excellent. All right. Okay. Now, I had this all nicely jumbled. There we go, there we go. That goes there, that goes there. And I forget, that's the tack. All right. Sorry for the bump. Still in camera. So if anyone's curious, I'm just using my phone to record these. I have a tripod from my very old DSLR, which doesn't do movies. And I'm not in the market to buy anything special for these because I am just a simple vlogger. I am not an influencer here. I'm more of a, hey, we're in a hobby together. How do we grow it? How do we make it better, right? All ships rise on the tide, and we're the ships. So let's try and raise everyone up on their printing game. I'm going to need to go in there with the vacuum. Let's turn it on again. Oh, and one more thing. Always one more thing. What is that? Silliness. Absolute silliness. There she goes. Not too loud. I'd say as fans go, they're pretty quiet. And back to the old Elegoo plate. I don't care what anybody else says. This is a nice plate. Yes, there are better plates out there, but this is a nice one. Notice I said nice. I had to switch to it because I was using the whole bill plate again, and I noticed that ASA does not like, wait, maybe not ASA, PETG does not like to print on the decals. It won't stick to it at all. And I haven't researched to see if there's a way maybe I can peel that off, or dare I say acetone. I don't want to because I think that's a bad idea. Could be anything. So instead of going out and buying a nice Glacier Blue, which I really want, but I don't need because I have a plate and it works just fine. And it doesn't have decals, sorry for the moment. So there we go. Thanks for staying on. This ends, oh, I'll fix that later. But hopefully your takeaway is, hey, you need cooling for your Nitehawk? Or even like say the ebb. Say you were using a ebb 36 or 42. It needed cooling. You could easily create a mount, if one doesn't already exist, and do exactly the same thing. It has fan pinouts. So take what you can from this. Hopefully you learned something. If not, hopefully you were entertained. If I can be so bold as to entertain people. And for those that are curious, ex-gantry still being, that's kind of, I work on it little bit by little bit. And with life things happening, it's still coming along. I still need to make a few more mods. There will be a video coming out on that. But I thought it'd be fun just to do this because I already had it half built already and show you the rest. So thanks for hanging in there with me. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And till next time, have a good day, folks.